to start when another dog comes. Okay, I'll start. Gang Hai Fa Choi. Happy New Year of the Rabbit. Happy Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. Thank you for joining me. This is my my predictions for the upcoming Chinese Year of the Rabbit, 2023, and I want to do some predictions for you for what you're going to experience over the next 12 months, maybe a bit more. I don't know when the new Chinese Year begins after this. It will be Dragon Year. Wow, Dragon Year next. Oh, hold on a second. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Go, Papa, go, go, go. Good girl. Bit of an interruption there. Alright, Papa, sit down. So yes, I'm going to pull some cards. I've got my selection of cards here ready, and we are going to do some readings for you. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the Rabbit Year. It's going to be an interesting time with what we've been experiencing recently. The Tiger Year, wow. I mean, a lot of people struggled in this Tiger Year, and not necessarily because of the repercussions of the pandemic either. Hey, Baba, don't do that. Not necessarily because of the repercussions of the pandemic either, but because there's just the energy of this Tiger Year was such that it was quite oppressive, and a lot of signs felt like they couldn't be themselves, and they couldn't stand in their power in quite the way that they used to. You need to stop doing that, sweetie. Stop doing that. So the Rabbit Year is going to change that. It is going to allow people to not feel so oppressed and suppressed. So there is a certain level of freedom that wasn't there in the Tiger Year. The other thing that's going to be quite noticeable for most signs is the fact that it's a far more creative year. Not that tigers aren't creative, they're very creative. But the influence that the Rabbit Year has on people is that it makes them more creative, and there's something about the rabbit sign that is kind of the political artist. So they use their art to challenge. You use lots of indirect ways to challenge authority. And I think one of the things that they do is they're very good at civil disobedience. For example, I talked about this in my the article I wrote for the 2023 Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. That's on my website. I talked about how in the last Rabbit Year, 2011, in the UK, we had the London riots, which were started because the police shot a black man, Mark Duggan, I believe his name was, and in protest, these riots took place where there was like mass looting of like stores. Started off in like North London, in a place called Tottenham, and then it just sort of spread across the country. And that these riots where people are just smashing windows and taking things, and that, not that is civil disobedience, because it's not very civil. It's uncivil disobedience, but it gives you an example of the kind of chaotic, laissez-faire energy that comes in Rabbit Years. There's also a lot of natural disasters, especially autumn time. But the positive, I suppose those are, I don't know whether they're positive or negatives. The civil disobedience thing depends on where you land in terms of your beliefs. But there are lots of positives, however, which I'm going to focus on. Primarily being that you are allowed to be yourself. Being yourself is rewarded. Standing in your power, using your art to say how you feel. And just generally, it's a romantic year. It's also one of the 2 years of beauty, the dog year and the Rabbit Year. Those are the two signs that are connected to beauty. So it's one of those years where you want to make your surroundings beautiful. You want to like look after yourself, look after your health, make yourself more beautiful, and just do those things that really make your heart come alive. Now I've got 6 packs of tarot cards here. So this is the Starseed Tarot. This is the Witch's Tarot. I've used this quite a lot of times. You will, those of you who've seen my videos before will know that I've used this pack before. Got the traditional Rider-Waite deck. The Robin Wood pack. This lovely green energy, green cards. We have the Archangel pack, one of the Doreen Virtue packs. She does make beautiful cards. She really does, with the angels. And this is the pack which I use the most, which is the Druid pack. Now we're going to move on to the Ox sign. Looking at the cards, I think I want to go to the Druid pack. We're going to do a general reading first, then we're going to look at health, wealth, and romance, and then we're going to do a 12-card spread to see how your 2023 is going to pan out in terms of the months. All right? Okay, let's do this. General. Okay, so the end of this Tiger year that's just finished yesterday. Today is the 22nd of January, so I'm filming it on the Chinese New Year. End of the Rabbit year has left you a bit confused because you're like, well, there's two things I really want to do. I want to focus my time on for this year, but do I go this way or do I go that way? Do I have enough time to be able to focus on both of these plans? So we've got the Two of Swords there. The thing is, the two things that you want to do, both of them are quite big, right? So in terms of what can you do both of them? Not really. You've really got to choose one. That's why we've got this dilemma. You've got to have one primary focus, and the secondary one you can do at some point afterwards. Now, this is the business advisor. So if one of your ideas is a business, I would say delay on that one. Unless you've already started it, in which case that's fine. But if you're thinking about starting a new business in this Rabbit year, might not be the best time. Okay, it might be better to choose the other option that you've got on your mind. But if you've only got one option, and that's your sole option, then choose the business. It's okay. But if you've got two, one is studying and one is business, choose the studying. And the business can wait. All right. Okay, so now let's have a look. Short-term future, we've got the Two of Cups, the friendship and a love card. So the friendship that turns into love, or just a general love card. It's not the lovers, but it's the next most lover-y card after the lovers. So it's very, very positive in terms of romantic relationships and also friendships, strong, firm friendships, people who are kind of like a soulmate, somebody you consider to be a soulmate. So if it's not romantically a romantic situation, it can be just having really deep connections with people that really bring a lot into your life. Influence working against you, we've got the Hierophant. So now, not the Hierophant, sorry, the Temperance card. They call it the Feral in this Druid pack. So the Temperance card is about doing everything in moderation, not being too extreme. But it's just fallen in a position of influences working against you. So it's possible that there's a lot of... that you're being pushed to do more than you can. And there could be some chaotic people around you, or you're in a state of chaos yourself. So it could mean that there's some things you need to heal, maybe some addictions or some health things or some just thinking patterns that are causing problems for you. So it could be that comes into focus this year. So the short-term future now, we've got the Ace of Wands, which, you know, if your business is your sole focus, then this is a good card because this gives you the energy and the thrust and the impetus to actually make it proceed and fuel your idea. Now we've also then got this card of the neglect and financial difficulty card, which comes after that. So this is the second half of the year. So the first half starts off pretty well, yeah? And then the second half, you may find that you're feeling neglected by the universe. And what that really means is that you're not giving yourself the credence you need and the self-love that you need. But we've got the overall outcome card of this Princess of Swords who's looking to learn more about how to look after herself and look after her needs and improve herself constantly. But it's also the borderline card, so you've got to be wary of if you find yourself having extreme thoughts and like you're high 1 second, lower in 1 second, reach out for help if you need it, okay? Because there are people out there who can help you. So don't be so proud that you don't ask for help when you need it, okay? All right, so that's the general. The other thing that I did just want to pull out one more card because I didn't want to. I felt like that was a little bit negative, and it's not because she does improve herself. It's just that there are 4 cards of narcissism and this is one of them. So if they come out, I will let you know that one of them that this could also mean difficult people around you as well. So I just wanted to get some clarification on that. We've got the King of Swords. If you do find that you're around difficult people who are draining you of your energy, your life source energy, take an objective approach, okay? So what that means is you remove all the emotion and you look at it rationally. Is this person bringing something to my life? Are they, since I met this person, or since they've been in my life, has my life gone crazy? What is it this person is doing? Just take a rational, objective approach and analyze the situation and the person using rationality alone. And in doing so, it should bring some things to light. And if people are being negative and not bringing anything into your life that's going to improve your life, let them go. All right? Okay, that's general. Let's move on to health. Okay, so this is quite easy. You've been keeping. It's interesting that the last one which was the general, was the dilemma, right? The Two of Swords, because there's a split in that one, and this one's also, there's a duality here. You see the in the Chariot, there's the yin and yang of the horses. Sometimes they're sphinxes, but in this pack, they're the horses, the yin and the yang, with Bodicea at their helm. But yeah, in the short-term future now, we've got this card of victory, of having made some changes. So with this card, it can mean relocation for work, relocation, just moving home. Just there's some sort of upheaval for positive reasons. But it's in the past, anyway, it's already happened. It's not going to happen, but it's already happened. But now, because of what's happened, it's brought you to where you are now. So now, influence is working in your favour. If there have been health issues, because this is kind of institutions like colleges, churches, hospitals, things like that. So if you have had issues, the hospitals have really helped. Sometimes, sometimes the situation is such that you go to the hospital, they give you some help, but it doesn't really help. It makes you feel worse. Now, especially recently with what's been happening with the C word, and I don't want to go down that road, but there's been a lot of situations where people are not feeling well for whatever reason. You want to look at it, but what this card is saying is that the traditional routes have been somewhat helpful. Okay, now what influence is working against you is that there's other ways to look at the situation and perceive the situation which may also help, but you're not letting yourself perceive it in that way, and you're not letting yourself look outside the box, maybe, and that might be helpful. Although this is also working for you, I'm not saying it's not, but there are other things that you can also do to help as well, which might be like alternative medicine or like acupuncture or other things, whatever your ailment is, if there is one. But there are other options out there as well, and I think it's worth exploring. Short-term future, now we've got the Magician card. So if there are any illnesses, you're going to take care of yourself in the important ways, maybe the merger of these two different ways, and you're going to allow yourself to stay focused on a positive outcome, and you will manifest that. Taking that to a bit of an extreme, you don't want to get your head in the clouds though. You want to stay somewhat rooted, as well as consciously using the law of attraction. The overall outcome card here is really positive. So there's three victory cards. The Chariot is one of them, and the Ace of Swords is one of them. The other one is the Six of Wands. But here now you've got two of them, and this is for health. So if there are any health matters this year, you're going to figure out how to resolve them in your benefit. And with the Ace of Swords as your overall outcome, nothing's going to get in your way. You're going to find a way around any obstacles to do with your health. So that's very positive. Okay, let me just pull out one more card. So is there anything else that I wanted to tell you? Is that keep your attitude light. Keep love around you. Those people that you just adore, people who just you adore and they adore you, because my cup overfloweth with pure love. So love and laughter. Laugh a lot. If you do find yourself feeling down or feeling ill, put on something that you find hilarious and just let laughter be your healer. All right? Okay, let's move on to wealth. Now, when I say wealth, I mean career, I mean finances, that whole realm. Now, obviously, I don't give financial advice here, and for legal reasons, I do have to say that anything I say is for entertainment purposes only. Right? Let's have a look. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that this is not necessarily a time for developing your wealth at the moment. This is a year that's focused more around family. Okay, so there could have been some loss. Maybe it's possible you're coming into this year after having experienced some financial loss, because the recent past card is this card of the Seven of Swords. Now, if you know tarot, generally speaking, this Seven of Swords is to do with theft and feeling like something has been taken from you against your wishes. So it's possible that because the question we're asking is about finances and wealth, it's possible that you feel like something was taken against your wishes financially. I know a lot of people suffered with the economic situation last year. A lot of people who invested in crypto made losses, or just in the general stock market also made losses. So it's possible you're coming into this rabbit environment feeling like raw about that. Now, all you can do is keep working at it, developing your knowledge base, and just keep going. Okay, recognize that you're always a student here in this world, and there's much still to learn. But don't try to do too much in this rabbit year. Okay, because this card of rebirth and the Phoenix Rising doesn't happen in this year for you, because this is influences working against you. Is that you're trying to make it happen because of what happened last year. Don't rush it, because it's not going to be good. Take your time and let the ethereal energies dictate what you do and don't do. Don't try and force anything, because that at this time won't work. Instead, just nurture what you already have and take it. Play it safe, basically. Play it safe. Nurture what you already have, and be appreciative of that. And don't focus on any negative things that have happened. Focus on what you have, and it grows. Okay. Towards the middle part, towards the end of the year, there can be some sort of transformation. So maybe things begin to look up at that time. But it's more likely that your focus shifts away from the financial aspects, or the financial aspects in your long-term planning side of things, and instead it's just focused on actually spending time with your family, because that time spent there is also wealth. Spending time with your family, living in a joyful way, is also part of your wealth. So the cards are saying it might be better that your time is spent there rather than trying to push against the energy that's saying now's not the time. Okay, focus on your family and other aspects that bring you a lot of joy, and the time will come, possibly in Dragon Year, for you to forge forwards financially at that time. Okay, let's move on to romance now. Okay. So the first thing that I'm seeing is it may have been somebody you liked and that you were reluctant to say something, reluctant to reveal how you felt. But then you eventually took the action, whether that was you initiating or just making yourself available so that the initiating could take place. But you put yourself in an environment where this person who you like was able to see you. So right now, things are shifting on the internal landscape, not showing in the external yet, but the time will come where it does, okay? So this is very positive. What's working against you is this person makes you feel giddy and all childlike and just young and youthful and like you don't know anything. But those are really good feelings to have, those prepubescent, adolescent sort of feelings, because that's really... It shows that you really care and you really like somebody, and there's a little loss of control there, and that's scary for a Nox person, but it's also quite freeing as well. Short-term future. Now this is my cup runneth over, so this is very positive, especially when it comes to love and romance. This says that this is the card that often comes up for like new love, new relationships, new starts, new emotional beginnings. So this could suggest the beginning of a new relationship or the deepening of one that already exists, and maybe you guys go on an adventure together this year. It's sort of June time onwards. If there's some sort of adventure that takes place, whether you go by yourself and you meet somebody there, or if you're already partnered up by that point, maybe you go together. It's also a chance that this year, the person that you meet, it could be returning. So somebody you already know, and somebody that just makes you feel all alive, And sometimes, I've got to say this, sometimes it's not always the healthiest people that make us feel that way. But, I see that there's some adventure there for you this year. So that's positive, if nothing else. As long as you realise that you want to choose somebody who's healthy, that really cares for you, and that's going to give you the time and energy in a healthy way, and not somebody that just tries to mess with your head. All right, so choose well. Now, okay, the thing is, on a certain level, the enjoyment comes from having a slightly, not necessarily narcissistic person, but like somebody who is a bit prickly. Let's put it that way. I think that there's more of a challenge there for you, and I think Ox people like that challenge. But that's okay. There's a romance called the Two of Cups, so it's okay if they're a bit prickly. That's absolutely fine. It works for you. But you do want to take an objective approach and find somebody that's suitable for you. That would also be good. But you don't want to find someone who's a bit of a pushover, because you're strong. Oxes are strong. This the Queen of Swords energy. She's strong. So you want to make sure that there's some sort of balance. Hence why you probably want someone that's a bit prickly. But you don't want somebody that's going to mess with your head. Okay? So if you feel that that's happening, figure it out. Have a look at what's happening really, truly. And look after yourself. Okay, let's move on to the 12 months. So I'm going to pull out 12 cards from January all the way down to December, and we're going to have a look at what your 2023 is going to pan out like. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look. So, the first card we have for January is the Princess of Pentacles, which, because it's January, there's not so much happening. So the Princess of Pentacles, she can be to do with studying, reading, spending time, just increasing your knowledge about a certain subject, and potentially a slight increase in finances, but nothing major. But it's when nothing really is happening too much, so you're just able to spend time in your own pursuits. February now, we've got a period of time of rebirth now. So the phoenix rises from the ashes. You're being called in a new direction, potentially a new job, and a job that suits you more than what you're currently doing. And it can just mean that your life changes. So you sort of find yourself in a completely different energy, and your life is different to the way it was before, because it was much needed, and you're beginning to feel more alive and more yourself. It's possible, the Tiger year did suppress a lot of people, so it's possible that happened to ox signs as well, and you're beginning to feel more like yourself. Now, March is going to be interesting. You're going to be able to be more sociable. So the Queen of Wands allows you to suggest that you're going to go out there, meet new people, network with people, build a client base. If you're in sales, this is very positive, because she knows a lot of people. She's very well connected, and people love having her around. Wherever she goes, she meets people who are able to help her with her career and with her just general life, make connections that they help out at some point. So it's very, very positive, and it's also a lot of fun as well. April is going to be interesting. We have the Star card, so a lot is shifting on the internal landscape. Nothing is showing yet, but there's lots of information that just slips into your mind. They give, like, the ethereal energies, the universe, the divine will provide you with information that you wouldn't necessarily know how you got. It's sometimes you just get ideas. They just fall into your head, and it's when the Star card comes, that's one of the things that happens. Also, at this time, you can use the law of attraction. You can make wishes, and wishes can come true, but it doesn't happen immediately. This is that start, the period of time where it just begins, but the wish comes true later, because it's not time to happen just yet. But it's a very, very good time to lay the groundwork. So start thinking about positive directions that you want to go in April time. May. Now, there could be people vying for your position, but you have the upper hand, you have the advantage, you're on the higher ground. So this would suggest some sort of competition, but you would win that because of your depth of knowledge. June, you may have had an idea, you want to put it into motion, but it's, again, a bit like the Star card. It takes a while for it to come to fruition. So you send out your fleet, and the fleet will return with profit, but not yet. They'll come later. But it's that time where you've done a lot of the work, the hard work has been done, and you've done your part, you've sent it out, and now you have to wait for the return. Now, okay, so that was June. July, we got the Ace of Cups again. So my cup runneth over with positive, pure emotion. So this could be love, romance, friendships, but it's a period of time that's really happy and joyful, where your heart really melts in a beautiful way, because of the connections that you have with people, children maybe. This card can also mean a birth of a new child, or somebody getting pregnant. But it's very, very, very positive and very heartwarming time. So that's June, July, August, September now. We've got the Three of Pentacles. So this is when you develop your craft to a really, really high level, to mastery. So sometimes people graduate at this time, so it's August. So if people are graduating or coming to the culmination of some sort of studying period, or just starting something new, even, when you're deciding, okay, I want to do this, and you start taking a course, or you want to better yourself, so you already have some knowledge about a certain subject, because this is working towards mastery, of course. Oftentimes this card comes up when someone starts a PhD, right? So that's in August. So that's September. September as well, beginning of a new work year, school year. September, so October, November, December. No, that's not right. That was August, wasn't it? June, July, August, September, October, November, December. No, that's not right. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I'm sorry, this was August. August, yes. September is this one. So September is transitioning from one state of balance to a new state of balance. So talking about school kids, like they're having to go from having lived at home all that time to now going to university or somewhere else. So it could also mean, this card often means the end of a relationship, having to move out of a shared home, and taking, I think in this one, is there a child in this one? Not sure if that's a child, but usually in the Rider-Waite pack, there's two figures. Looks like a mother figure and a child figure, but you can't really see because they're shrouded. In here, it looks like it's a father and a daughter. It looks like, but anyway, just generally speaking, September could suggest a time where some sort of breakup or breakdown happens. Not breakdown of a relationship or breakdown of a situation, which causes one person to have to leave the scene, or just get used to the fact that the way that life used to be is going to change to a new way. So that's September. But I don't want to alarm anyone or worry anyone. This is a minor card, so there's a lot of control that you still have over it. If it was a major arcana, they tend to be more powerful, and they tend to be more sort of, it's going to happen. But minor arcana is a lot of control you still have over the situation. And there's also lots of interpretations of this card. So it doesn't mean if you're in a relationship, that relationship is going to break up. It could just mean that there's a difference from where you start to where you end up. There's some sort of energetic difference, which is fine. Sometimes somebody reveals something that you didn't know about someone, which makes you feel differently about that person. Doesn't mean you break up. It just means you perceive them somewhat differently. So you've gone from one state of balance to a new state of balance. Make sense? I hope it does. Right, October. This card means blessing in disguise. So you may have wanted a certain outcome. That outcome doesn't happen quite the way that you wanted. But the more you sit with it, the more you realise, the more time you give it, the more you realise that actually that outcome that I wanted might not have served my needs. And this thing that has happened, there is something very positive and beneficial that's going to come from this, which I could never would have guessed. So, blessing in disguise card, okay? November, we've got the Justice card. So if they're involved in court or any sort of legal matter, it's possible if you set yourself up the right way that the matter will go in your favour. So that's very positive. Generally speaking, the Justice card means doing the right thing for karmic rewards, and if you do the right thing, you get the right result. If you don't do the right thing, you can't expect the right result, because karma will give you what you need, what you deserve, basically. All right. So November, behave yourselves, oxes. December, we've got the Princess of Cups. Now she's a romantic one. She's again, it can suggest the birth of a child. It can mean the early stages of a new relationship, a new beginning, a new emotional start. Anytime you see the single cup, it can mean that, right? So on the Ace of Cups, all of the court cards, really, because they're all single cups, but this one in particular can mean a new relationship, new start, new child, pregnancy, that sort of thing. Okay, but it's very, very positive. It's when you have those feelings inside that just bursting inside of you that you can't contain, like a excited giddy girl, teenage girl, that sort of energy. So there's excitement about what's on the way the following year. So it looks like Dragon Year, there's going to be much happening for you then as well. All right, so that is your 12 card reading. Now, for each month in 2023, I was going to say, if you're interested in my combined astrology stuff, then consider getting my first book, Secrets of the Combined Astrology. I don't know how much it is on. You can get it from Amazon and bookshops as well. Around the world, apparently, I've been told, which is amazing. I'm glad they're still in the shops. But Amazon is where I would suggest you go if you want to get this. This is the full 144 charts. And if you just want your individual chart, it's in £6.99 or $8.74. And you can get them from Amazon as well. This is my one. I'm a Sheep Aquarius, but you can get your one from Amazon directly. So yes, and also if you want to book a reading with me, you can email me at zakariyaadeel@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me on this number here. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you next time.